Hey guys, Alex from SeemsGoodMagic.com here, doing an Innistrad block draft. We opened Beguiler of Wills, and we also have Stormbound Geist in this pack, worth noting. Looks like got a couple of black cats in here, Hunger the Howl pack, Moonwall Bear. I'm just pointing out all the picks that are catching my attention. I think I'm just gonna slam the Beguiler of Wills, which is, I think it's a very good card. In limited, I guess, strictly limited, but I mean, anytime you're stealing their guys and you can a repeatable effect, that's pretty good. The only other direction I'd really want to go is Chill of Foreboding, just make a random mill deck, which I hope that I eventually do. But I don't think I'm going to do it this time because I like Beguiler of Wills enough where I'm going to pick it over the Stormbound Geist, which I think is the easy second pick. Okay, so we follow up with a pack that's completely devoid of blue, which is unfortunate. But let's look at what we've got. So I'm pretty sure the Grafdigger's Cage is just right out. We're not going to play that. I'm thinking something along the lines of Lamholt Elder, Strangleroot Geist are both good. Otherwise, I take a less good pick of a Torturer or a Highborn Ghoul, just so I can go black-blue, which I would suppose is an archetype that I'd much rather get into than blue-green, which would struggle a little bit more for removal. If you go blue-green, you look at like Claustrophobia, Silent Departure, Prey Upon. I mean, that's a decent amount, I guess. And it also, lets you do the spider spawning sort of deck. But I think I'm actually going to go with the Highborn Ghoul. I'd rather just go into an archetype that I know is safe, and I don't have any problems with Highborn Ghoul. I think that card is really good. Okay, so here, I think the choice is going to be I'm pretty sure it's just the Flare, actually. Not much of a choice at all. The Flare is a removal spell, and I can toss some other humans like this. Although I can't see a lot of times I'd want to toss the Beguiler of Wills. There's other humans in black and blue. I mean, there's humans in all colors, so Skrstag Flare is just a really good card. And one that I'm happy to pick up here, passing a Highborn Ghoul and a Black Cat, so not a big deal. We'll take it. Okay, so now the choice is Divination or Fling, probably. Fling is actually really good if you go red-green or anything with Undying, so I guess red-black too. I feel like I want to push for Beguiler of Wills. I think it's strong enough where I want to make a deck that's good with it. And although Divination is a significantly weaker spell than, say, Kessig Recluse Fling, I think I'm just going to take it here. Start cutting some more blue. Haven't seen much for blue, unfortunately, but seen a ton of these guys, though. These guys might be a problem. So now it's second Divination or Vengeful Vampire. I think I'm just going to take the Vamp. He's a reasonable finisher. And I don't think I'll need the second Divination, especially if we're doing black-blue, so like Forbidden Alchemies will serve sort of the same role as Divination. So I'm just going to take a Vengeful Vamp, which is a decent finisher. Okay. I kind of want to take Reap the Seagraph because I can get full value out of it, but I just don't think that's going to be right when I've got a Skrstag Flare. So we're just going to take a second Flare here. He's an uncommon, right? That's sweet to get a couple of those. Okay, so we're taking the Flare over the Seagraph. Be nice to be able to pick up one of those, but can't always get what you want. Okay, so now we're in sort of a weird spot. I think the best pick for us is going to be the Avacyn's Collar. We've already got 3 humans. There's a chance we get some more. We have the Intimidator guy too, which, although it wouldn't, get us a spirit, just the fact that we already have 3 humans, I think this card's good enough where I want to pick it here. Otherwise, it's Splash, Burden of Guilt, which isn't horrible, but I think I'd rather just take the Collar. Maybe Burden of Guilt. Maybe it was worthy of a splash there. I'm not exactly sure. Here, I don't really like Sightless Ghoul all that much. I think I'll take the Warden of the Wall, which is a nice ramp spell, plus I think it's just good in control, so I can use it as a blocker or it's a ramper, both of which are useful. So yeah, I'll take that. Okay, so we tabled some cats. Suppose I'll just take the foil one. I think the card that we'd probably most likely play would be the Near Heat Stalker if we can't end up in blue, which looking like might not happen. Might not be able to go into blue as much as I would have liked to. So now a second Black Cat or a Highborn Ghoul. I think the way we look right now, we're looking more controlling. So I think I'm actually going to take the Black Cat, which easier to cast and better at stalling. I don't really see playing any of these cards, so I suppose I'll take this just in case. I have a decent way to... No, I guess I don't have a ton of ways to get Morbid. So I probably just won't play that card. Grave Purge, I guess, there's a chance we can play it. Probably should have just taken the Mountain. If anybody wants to play Favor of the Woods, more power to them. Alright, so I mean, we look okay after pack 1. We've got a Beguiler of Wills, which we're not even certain yet we're going to be able to play. We've got some decent removal, early stuff. Oh, well, I think Ludovic's test subject is going to allow us to stick with blue, so that's good. Possibly table is back from the brink. People don't really like it all that much. I like it a lot, actually. Especially when you're in blue that has self-mill, so I don't know. I think it's a good card. Not much else that we're really passing, other than it's just the test subject in the back from the brink that we really need from this pack, I would say. I suppose Crab would be alright too, since we're a little bit slower. But we're going to take the test subject, which is just an awesome card. Okay, well, we got a spider spawning. Now, is it early enough where I should just try and push for that? Do I have enough creatures where I can make that happen? I guess I do. And I'm in the colors that want self-mill. I mean, the question is, am I really even passing anything else? And I think the answer is no, I'm really not. Just passing some red stuff. Yeah, I think we'll just take spider spawning. So now we value self-mill, which we have 0 of. Much, much higher. But I think that's the pick for us. We're not really passing much of anything. I guess sensory deprivation, maybe, but we'll take spider spawning. Hopefully try and push that. See if we can get some self-mill. So self-mill now being, what, Dream Twist, which... not the greatest. I guess Stitch's Apprentice with a couple Black Cats is alright. Galvanic Juggernaut is just a strong card in general. Traveler's Amulet to help fix. Mulch for the spawning. Decisions. If we're splashing the green just for the spider spawning, I'd almost rather do Dream Twist. But Dream Twisting myself is just usually pretty bad. I think it's early enough and I saw enough green being passed where I'm going to take the Mulch here. Try and make this spider spawning work. Hopefully it's not a mistake. Wow, as we're past a Brimstone Volley and a Morka Banshee. Um, well, we're gonna be forced to make this spider spawning work, so I'm gonna take the Forbidden Alchemy over the Banshee, which is unfortunate. I mean, you could also argue sell off Occultist, I suppose. Maybe that's right, but this, I feel like, will self-mill us more. Actually, Occultist works better with our Skursdag flares, and it also self-mills. Yeah, I suppose I'll take the Occultist then. Because it's a human, I'm going to take the Occultist. I mean, and it self-mills too, so I don't really have a problem with that. Wow, a second back from the brink. That's certainly interesting. How many things do I have for Delver? Mulch, Divination, Grave Purge actually doesn't look that great in this deck. Gruesome Discovery is not going to happen. Well, I think simply because it's a human, so it works, and actually a cultist too. The collar plus the double flare. I think we're just going to do black-blue humans, which is pretty unusual, but I could see making Delver work in this deck. It's still early enough where I feel comfortable, especially once again with the double Skursdag Flare for removal plus filling our graveyard for spider spawning. We're doing some weird stuff here, but I think this actually might work. Scab Goliath is the best card, but not for us, because we don't want to be exiling. We want to be the spider spawning deck, I think. You know, so it's really either do you want to go zombie route or do you want to go spider spawning route? And I think I probably prefer to go the spider spawning route. So I'm going to take the crab, which just locks down the ground, hopefully. No real self-mill here. I think we're just going to take the Altar's Reap for filling graveyard purposes. Works really amazingly well with Black Cat, and we have 2 of those, so I think I'm fine with taking an Altar's Reap. Rolling Timblor would be really good against our spider spawning, but at least they have to do it twice to really harm us. I mean, spider spawning deck likes Boneyard Worm, so I suppose I'll take that. I mean, we tabled the back from the brink, but that takes stuff out of our graveyard, so I think now that we're on this plan, I want something else. It's either a second crab or a fen snake. I feel like I like crab more, but fen snake actually trades with stuff, hopefully. I guess we'll do the fen snake. Neither of them are humans, and I already have a crab, so they'll fill some roles there, I guess. I suppose Wreath of Geist is the most chance of being played if I get enough self-mill, which I currently do not have enough of, admittedly. We're going to take the Apprentice here. Works well with the Black Cats. Don't really see myself playing Manor Skeleton. Don't really see myself playing Wooden Stake either, but we passed some good vamps, so actually I'll take Wooden Stake as a sideboard option. I've done it before. I'll take Grave Bramble for sideboard. Possibly main deck, but hopefully not. Alright, so we definitely need a Shimmering Grotto or a Traveler's Amulet. I'd like our mana to be a little bit better than it is. It's not looking the greatest right now. Alright, well, we get a second to last pick, Stony Silence. I feel like token decks in Standard Constructed should be running this out of sideboard, because Ratchet Bomb wrecks them so well. I've had it played against me, and I play Ratchet Bombs out of side, and I'm talking about Standard Constructed here, and it's pretty good against Ratchet Bomb and like Sword of War and Peace and stuff. So Stony Silence, surprisingly good sideboard for token decks. All right, look at this pack. This is nuts. Okay. Oh, I think we have to go with the Mind Shrieker. This is so hard. It's like the Mind Shrieker. Obviously, we want a second spider spawning, and a Silent Departure. But honestly, Mind Shrieker, not only is it self-mill for our spider spawning, but the fact that it just can win a game so easily. I pretty much have to first pick it here over the second spider spawning. A little disappointed that I have to do that, but I think because of how strong this card is just in a vacuum on its own, I am going to pick it over the spider spawning. I mean, we're lacking self-mill too, so it's not like something that I should feel bad about. Well, look at this. I mean, I'd like to believe that I could make Unburial Rites work. Just not sure that I can. I think we're probably going to pick the Daybreak Ranger. Just because even though I'm probably not going to be able to get... Oh, but there's a Traveler's... I can't pick a Daybreak Ranger over a Traveler's Amulet. This card kills flyers. It's a human, so it interacts with flares if I need to throw it in a pinch for some reason. Works with Collar on the front side. If I get a Shimmering Grotto, I can even fight. There's a chance. So I am going to pick the Daybreak Ranger over the Traveler's Amulet here. I think that's for the best. Unburial Rites is cool and all, but I'm already trying to make this spider spawning work still, so... Daybreak Ranger over the Traveler's Amulet. A little disappointed that I had to do that, but... Indeed, I believe it necessary. Okay, still not getting any self-mill, which kind of sucks. I think here we've probably got enough green where I'm just going to pick Caravan Vigil. Which isn't a great fix when you're just splashing green, but at this point I'm not exactly sure that we're splashing green. We might just be a mix, a good mix of the three, which really means we want some fixers. It's either Caravan Vigil or Markov Patrician, but surprisingly we're doing good on creatures right now. And we're gonna need mana fixing. We're just gonna need it because we're pretty deep in 3-color at this point. So Caravan Vigil. Not happy that I had to do that, but it's not guaranteed that we're gonna get any other mana fixing. You know. This deck looks like it can make Lumberknot work, possibly. Otherwise, Hollow Hinge Scavenger, we probably get Morbid a decent amount as well, with the Stitcher's Apprentice or something. But then it's, do I like Lumberknot or Stitcher's Apprentice more? I think I have enough early creatures where I think I like Lumberknot in this deck over another Apprentice, a Walking Corpse, and a Scavenger. We don't have a ton of finishers though, and Scavenger is one, albeit not a great one. But no, I think I am going to pick the Lumberknot. We just have enough early creatures where I think I can make the Lumberknot work. Self-mill, please. Alright, well, we got some self-mill, that's for sure. It's a matter of a second Occultist or the Nephalia Drownyard. The Drownyard would definitely be good. I mean, Disciple's fine too for filling the graveyard. And it's a human. But I think I'm going to go with the Occultist. We don't have enough self-mill. And this one's also a human. And we still have this little mini, you know, mini-human sub-theme going on, which I like. And these things sometimes can just mill for like 15 and end the game. It's really strange, but I've seen it happen. It's pretty cool. Here, I believe we just take the Fesserhead Boar, get another beater. We're deep enough in green at this point where I don't think that's a problem. We either get a Ghoul Raiser, a second Caravan Vigil, or a Hollow Hinge Scavenger. Alright, let's just hide this Highborn Ghoul. That is not happening. What color are we just most likely splashing? Could probably make it black splash at this point, in which case I want to do the Scavenger probably, or the second Vigil. We'll take the Scavenger. I need a little more beef in this deck. Alright, well, we got a Gnaw to the Bone, so we're going to take that. Always good in this deck. Here we'll take the human that can fill our graveyard. So Disciple's pretty good pick there, I think. Parallel Lives with spider spawning. I think that's a little too greedy. I don't think I'd have space for it. Do I have anything else? Oh, I guess the collar makes tokens. Do we have any other token producers? I really don't. Yeah, I don't. besides the spider spawning and the collar. That's not enough. We'll take the Bramble Crush against things we can't deal with otherwise. Trepanation Blade, not so good. Neither is Grave Bramble, really. Tangible Virtue would be good with our spider spawning, but we're not in white. I suppose we'll take the Virtue away from random token opponents or something. I mean, it's arguable that Trepanation Blade's a good sideboard against us, but I don't always believe in that. Like, I'm not sure if that's true. We don't really have enchantments we care about, I guess. A couple Kinder Catches, why not? Alright, well, I mean, we got sort of a weird little human sub-theme spider spawning deck. Or the other way around, I guess. Depends on how you look at it. But I think I am going to end up splashing black, and I'm going to try and make this a 16 lander. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we ended up with a pretty unusual deck. I typically don't play decks that are this well distributed into 3 colors. I guess I'm a little disappointed I didn't get more mana fixing. I pretty much strictly have Caravan Vigil, and that's it. I guess the nice thing is, I feel like we actually did end up with enough self-mill to make spider spawning seem good. We have Mulch and Mind Shrieker, Double Occultist, and I guess that's it. But, I mean, we also have the Skursdag Flares, which can throw our... we have a decent amount of humans. We've got the Delver, who's pretty much in the deck because he's human. I mean, I think we have like 5 ways to flip him. So he's pretty much just something that comes down early and fills our graveyard with creatures, or something we equip a collar to, to give us some value. Or toss with a flare. So he's pretty much in here because he's human. But we have the Stitcher's Apprentice, and we have the double Skursdag Flares for throwing our guys into the graveyard for the spider spawning. We've got some cool synergies in here, actually. We've got the Occultist, which works really well with the Stitcher's Apprentice. We've got the Flares, which work well with all the same guys. We've got the Daybreak Ranger, taking care of random flyers that are, wrecking us. Like, usually I would just throw in a mountain, for him. But considering... Like, I don't think I can mess with our mana base like that. We're just too evenly spread into the 3 colors. Maybe if I was just, like, splashing green just for the spider spawning, I would probably get greedy enough to do a red source for the Daybreak Ranger, but I'm just not feeling it. I feel like we're already going to be struggling, battling our own mana enough. I mean, I think, what did I do? 6 islands, 6 forests, 4 swamps, which is actually really awkward, but... I felt like I really needed that green to make sure that I can dig for whatever I need with the Caravan Vigil. The nice thing is we don't have a ton of double color. It's pretty much just Beguiler of Wills and Lumberknot are our only 2 double color spells, so hopefully fixing won't be too much of a major concern. I was also thinking about playing the Wreath of Geist, but if I played that, I'm not sure what I would play it over, really. I'd probably have to take some creature out for it, and I'm not thrilled about doing that. So all in all, I guess this deck looks alright. I mean, we do have finishers. We've got the Test Subject. We've got Mind Shrieker. We've got Daybreak Ranger. Decent finisher when he flips, I guess. We've got the Lumberknot, which works really well with the Stitcher's Apprentice and Flares and Altar's Reap, all that other stuff where stuff's dying or spider spawning. I mean, he definitely doesn't want to make stuff die, because then he gets huge. Beguiler of Wills with spider spawning is kind of funny too, how that works. But all in all, I think this deck actually looks decent. I'm excited to give it a try. I think we're definitely short on the self-mill, which sucks, but we probably have just enough to get by. I guess we'll see. Yeah, I'll see you round 1. Wish me luck.